Hey there everybody, I'm Jack. This is Raw Tropical Living. Thanks for joining me today. Gray, rainy, dreary day here in South Alabama. It's not quite as cold as it would seem, but I haven't had any heat on in the house this morning, and I just had some ice cream. So what to always tell you, that's how you do it. You layer. I thought I'd talk about how life is all about perception. Guys, I do videos every day, so if you haven't already done it, please go down there and hit that red subscribe button now. Then click on the little bell and check send notifications so you'll stay subscribed to the channel. You know, I want to read a quote. I had to look it up. I've heard it 100 times. I know you guys have too. But listen, it sums it up for me perfectly. Life is 10% what happens to you and 90% how you react to it. Totally, totally, totally. As we're coming towards the end of the year, I was thinking about it as I was preparing to do this video, and I'm thinking, and it's sad. I mean, I'm laughing a little bit, but it's sad. Since I've been on social media, Facebook in particular, every year, late December, this year will be, oh, 2018 sucked. 2018 was tough. 2018 was this. I can't wait for 2019 to get here. And I'm going to tell you something. I'm going to break it to you right now. Most of those people, if you're one of them saying that, I can go ahead and really tell you, you'll be saying it again in 2019. You'll probably be saying it again in 2020 until you change your thinking on that. Because I've seen the same people on my Facebook friends list year after year after year. And when it's 4 years in a row, when it's 5 years in a row, that's some sad shit, man. It's like you're creating, it's like there's this story somewhere, I don't even know what the moral of that one is, but it's sort of apropos, where the guy's in a jail cell. And it's always been unlocked. He's been free to leave, but he doesn't leave. So I don't know, it really is. There's just people in life that the glass is always going to be half empty. And then there's people in life that will look at things as half full. And I'm going to tell you, whether it's being kind of Pollyanna or being, unrealistic, it's a hell of a lot better way to go through life. I tell you what, my last 6-7 years have been much nicer than the 48 years that preceded that by living like that. That's how I live my life. I look for, I know it sounds cliche, the silver cloud and, the silver lining in a cloud and looking for lessons in everything, but it really is true. It's true. Since I've been doing this channel, since I've been vegan, I've been just cruising along. Most of the time I've made videos, I was down in Costa Rica. Oh, my life looked great. I'm living in the tropics, living the dream. It wasn't as big. I mean, I was just having a simple day-to-day existence, but I was having a great day-to-day existence, even in the simplicity. So I come up here about 1.5 years ago. As a lot of you that have followed for a while know, I was going back home to Costa Rica in April, and my mom's health kind of declined a little bit, and she had to go into the nursing home. And I don't have brothers and sisters, so I'm staying around here. Now, everybody always asks, my mom's general health is actually pretty good now, but she just has no mobility left, can't get around, so that was really the only option. So, like I say, I'm not taking care of her physically, but not having brothers and sisters and my mom being 88, I've just decided to stay around. But wow, what a difference. What a difference, what a difference. I go from paradise, living in the tropics to I'm living in a small town. I have no contact really. I've kind of been living like that for about 2.5 years. That's what you really need to when you're trying to figure out where I'm coming from. I'm a little bit touched in the head. You have to be. You can't even imagine, the average person can't even imagine the amount of time I've spent on my own in the last 2.5 years, and it makes you different. So yeah, I mean, I'm in a place I don't know anybody. The summer was just brutal. Would I choose to be here? Was it not for my mom? No, 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 no. On top of that, there's been concerns. I've talked about that in a video about anxiety one time. You know, it's fairly expensive for people in the nursing home. So I've had some financial worries this year. I've seen some things. In other words, I've seen my life make some major changes. So I didn't get to go back to the tropics. You know, I go to Woodstock. Woodstock was great. And then I come back in early September and I start having this body issue. Sometimes I feel like I've been in a fog for the last 3 months, and I sort of have. It's getting better. I don't know. I don't talk about it a lot because it's kind of a hard issue. It's like it's hard to describe, whatever. But anyway, okay, so I have not been near as productive in this last quarter of the year as I wanted to. I mean, when I was at Woodstock, I had ideas flowing. I wanted to come back, and I had certain things I wanted to do. I wanted to restart my yoga practice, and I was going to chronicle that a lot. You know, I was going to start going live a lot, like on, well, even here, YouTube, doing it on Instagram, doing it on Facebook. But I've been running at about 60%. I'm not in pain just because I can't sit still for very long. I start feeling stiff. I start just kind of feeling, Okay, that's neither here nor there. But in my world, that's gone so easy for so long, and it's just been great. Yeah, this could have been considered a difficult year. But it's taught me some shit. It was like a wake-up call. It's like the kick in the butt that I sort of needed to deal with some things, you know, to deal with some things about me, some shortcomings about me, and some things. Basically, in a lot of ways, I'm growing up about 30-something years too late. But no, man, I look at all of this stuff. I'm very introspective. That's another thing that happens to you when you spend a lot of time on your own. You get very introspective with things. I think too much. I'm always thinking. I'm having conversations with myself. And I mean, I wouldn't be human if I didn't say I don't get a little down from time to time, but not very much. Not very much, because I just don't allow that to come in. I just don't allow that to come in. When it starts coming in, I like this is really old for all people that are old. I nip it in the bud. Barney Fife. Yeah, I lock it off right immediately. And what I do a lot of times, it's not like I'm harsh with myself or whatever, but it's almost like as soon as my mind switches even a little bit into that mode, I just start going through in my head what I'm grateful for. And I do scold myself a little bit. I've told you guys I got multiple voices running around up in there that talk to each other, and some govern each other, but I immediately start going through the list of everything that I've got to be grateful for. And there, yeah, I do get a little annoyed with myself. Like, you ain't got no right to be down. Come on, dude. You know, there's a lot of people dealing with a lot of real stuff in the world. Real stuff, you know. I got a roof over my head. Boom. I got plenty of food in this house. If I need to go to the store, I've got a car to get there. I've got the money to go to the store and buy it. I've got warm clothes. I'm not dealing with the elements in this cold weather. And I don't know what that statistic is, but if you look it up online somewhere, like, having what I have would put me in the top. Then this puts some weird stuff into perspective. Having what I have puts me in the top, what, at least 10%, 5% of the world? Not even being a wealthy person, just being a normal everyday person. So I do that. I start going, no. That one voice that's a little bit more stern starts saying, no. You don't get to wallow in a whole bunch of self-pity and oh, woe is me, and life is tough, this and that. Like, my life ain't tough at all, dog. I'm privileged. I know I'm privileged. Most people that are privileged or have had privilege in their life don't know it. I know it. I know it. So, you know, I try to be, I am a little hard with myself, you know. I hold myself to higher standards than I did for a lot of years. So yeah, as this year's starting to wind down, and I'll talk some more about, you know, kind of a wrap up of the year in a different way at a different time. But yeah, as this year winds down, I would put it in the books as another good year, because there were lessons to be learned. I mean, look, I was always kind of knew that at some point everything wasn't going to be sunshine and roses. I knew at some point there was going to be difficulties to deal with. Once again, I could be dealing with difficulties that are a whole hell of a lot worse than mine. I could be out on the street. I could have some health condition that threatened my life, that was going to shorten my life. You know, I could be scrambling, looking for food to eat today. I could have an addiction. You know, I could have an opioid problem, which is consuming this country right now. But I don't. I'm Saturday sitting in a nice, comfortable house. I got a TV. I've got Wi-Fi. I've got everything that anybody could need. Of course, there's things I want. There's always going to be things we want. We're not monks. We're not saints. We're not all enlightened people that have no desires. But in the end, I'm happy for what I've got. This has been a good year. Life is good. And you know what? Until it just gets nightmarish hell where I can't find anything to be positive or grateful for, I'll just keep doing what I keep doing. Anyhow, hope you guys enjoyed this one today. If you like it, please give me a thumbs up, and I'll see you again tomorrow. Peace.